So when I shot the documentary, I traveled the country and was working with lots of women. And in the process of doing that, I discovered that there were several things that were really constant in them, and different things that I could see that was actually not just a block to their emotional comfort in their own skin, but it was also a block to creativity. And so that's what helped me to develop the HeArtivist method. So I'm going to take you through that step by step. But basically, the main idea behind it is that it's about ideas. So it's about having really good ideas and then being able to take those ideas and running them through the human form all the way down to the point where we end up with a gift that we're able to give to the world. So what I mean by running it through the human form is that we have an idea and then we puzzle it around in our brain and try to come up with a way to make it work. And then we have to be able to talk about that and share it with other people. That was supposed to be yeah. Anyway, how are we going to share it with other people? We need to be a storyteller. We need to be able to take our ideas and share our music, share our creative idea, whatever it is, just get it out there. And then because by being able to communicate what we're thinking effectively, we're then able to engage the hearts of others and be able to get people on our side. Now, ideally, when the heart part is going well, we're able to receive help, and at the same time we're able to give help in equal measure. So it's a lovely kind of to and fro, and we end up with a really wide collection in your creative community and a very deep one as well. So wide and deep is what we're going for, so that we're able to harness the power of others' ideas to make our ideas even richer and brighter. Now, the next step is we go from having this connection of people that can help us make our thing. So we've told them about it, and it may be something as simple as having a really good art supply place that can help you pick exactly the right thing for your project. For me, when I'm putting together my photographic work, I have to have a very wide and deep team, because I need the models, I need the hair and makeup artists, I need to make sure my lighting is right and my equipment is correct, and behind the scenes photographers and costume design, set design, it's all there. So I had to work really hard to develop this. Now, when we have creative ideas, often we have, so say the idea is here, and then we need to get it over here, and it's done, right? So we think, this is the path that we have to take to get to get that idea finished. It should take about X, Y, and Z amount of time. But the truth of the matter is, it's never a straight shot when we're on a creative path. Often we go through this period where we're like, this is the best idea. Things are going really great. And people are telling me I'm really awesome for having this idea. And then it starts to crumble when you're faced with the reality of what you have to make. And it's like, oh my gosh, this is really difficult. Do I really want to do this? And then we have to finally commit and have grit, and then bring it back up and make the thing. So that's really kind of more the pathway of when you're making art, because there's going to be things as you're pushing boundaries where it's going to make it even more difficult. Well, to do that, you need to have strength. So this is my art skills are a little lacking today. But this is meant to be a barbell. So we'll say 10 kgs, right? So this is meant to show strength, and the strength to handle the grit, to handle the challenge that comes with this, to hold space around your idea and not let all the forces that will come to crush a good idea come and crush it. You have to hold space for it and hold an understanding of what it is that you have to make and handle the iterations that come with it. Now, the next step is I like to draw a lightning bolt for this one, because this is one of the most incredibly important parts of it. Once you have this idea, where's the passion? Where's the emotion that comes with it? Because if you don't have a love and a really strong feeling about it. Maybe it might be love, maybe it must be frustration or whatever, but you're making it, and that's invested. Whatever you're feeling gets invested in your creative process. But if you're unable to feel, or if you really struggle connecting with your emotions, then you will struggle to create something that people actually give a crap about. If it doesn't evoke an emotional response in you, it's not going to evoke one in anybody else. And good art evokes an emotional response. It changes people. It takes them on a journey. Now, the final stage is the manifestation, the bringing stuff to life. So you've come up with the idea, you've problem solved through it, you've been able to talk about it, you've created a community around you that can help you, and you're able to receive help. You've held the space for it, you've invested it with your passion and your emotion, and then you bring it to life. And at this point, this is the tricky part, because this is where so many people fail to ship. They fail to actually bring their gift out into the world. And it can be things like fear of criticism or whatnot. But this is a point where it's all about making your thing and releasing it into the world, and then letting go of the outcome of how people are going to receive it. Now, you may get feedback that can help you produce it better next time, but at this point, it's like, I made the thing, I learned a lot, now I'm going to go make something even cooler. So it's actually putting it out into the world, getting rid of perfection paralysis, but shipping your thing. So this is great. This is, the straighter this is, the more balanced it is. This is how you come up with being able to put a lot of creative output out into the world. But there are lots of ways where this can go wrong. And it can be either that you have diminished energy or that you have excessive energy in any of these areas. So what does that look like? Diminished energy in the ideation section, it looks to me, or it feels to me, like a box. And it feels like a box that comes around your ideas. And this is in the form of dogmatism. This is in form of beliefs and limiting beliefs, mostly around what you're capable of doing or what is possible. And so I'm just going to draw a person kind of stuck in this box with their knees up, because it can feel really claustrophobic in there. And this can also be dogmatism. It can be culture. It can be anything saying, no, that can't be done, and you really shouldn't try it. And it keeps you actually from even coming up with good ideas in the first place, because you just limit yourself. And then the other side is, instead of being in a box, it's, for this one, it's almost like you are just lost. What am I doing here? You're lost in space. Ooh, that's his eyes. And you're just floating out in the ether. You've got so many ideas that you're just lost in them, and it's amazing, but you're not able to bring anything home. You're floating in the land of ideas, and there's no tether to the ground. It's like, woo, it's missing. And so you just think a lot, you come up with lots of really cool ideas, but you do nothing to actually problem solve them and bring them into action. So in the problem solving area, what does that look like? Well, typically when it can go wrong, when it's diminished in energy, it's because there is a really, really malevolent, critical voice that just yells at you. The minute you come up with an idea, it's telling you how stupid your idea is and why should you even go there. So this is something that really can shut down the problem solving part of it and abort the idea before it even gets a chance to be born. Now over here, I like to draw for this section a rabbit, because this is all about rabbit holing, chasing your ideas down many a dark passage and seeing all the different ways that it could permeate. You research something to death, you overthink it, but you don't actually say, all right, I've done enough thinking on this. I'm going to actually take my best thinking and pull it to and start talking about it and move it forward. You just play with ideas and get lost up here. So the next step is the communication part. Now, what happens at this level with diminished energy is you have a poor little person here that has a tape over their mouth. They are a silent child, is how I like to draw it. It's a child who, or not even just a child, it could be anybody, where it feels like they have had so many times had their ideas shot down that their critical voice stops them from even saying anything about it. So if they have even gotten to the point where they problem solved, this guy often engages and they're afraid to say anything more. Now over here, in the excessive energy, this is just the opposite. You've got somebody who will not shut up, and they talk and talk and talk and talk to the point where people tune them out because there's just so much coming out, and they're like, okay, I've had enough. What? And people just tune it. So this could be a gossip, it could be a bore. It's just somebody who's not listening as much as they're talking. Does that make sense? They're just, you got two ears, right? And one mouth. Wow, my drawing skills are. And one mouth, and that's for a purpose. This person, it's all about the mouth, and they're talking, and they